Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. If you're newer to my work, you're probably not aware of this, but if you go back about a year and a half, I started documenting a pattern with numbers showing up next to Donald Trump's name. And those numbers seem to point to the date May 23rd. And that was before May 23rd, 2016. We were curious to see what the news would be that day. There were a lot of very interesting headlines. Go back and see the video I put out on May 23rd News 2016. Letters from Christopher Columbus and more. Budweiser starting a special campaign up until the election. So many interesting things that happened May 23rd, 2016. But anyhow, I thought that perhaps something would happen to Trump that day. And I said if nothing happens to Trump May 23rd, 2016, and his campaign goes on past that date, I'm afraid we might see him become the president and something happen to him at another May 23rd, possibly the next year, which is now approaching. It's May 23rd, 2017. That's what I was talking about more than a year ago. And I want to document real quickly what's so interesting about May 23rd, 2017 in light of Donald Trump starting this strike against Syria on April 6th, 2017. The Freemason compass and square, the compass for making circles, geometry class, it's set at 47 degrees. Each leg kicked out at 23.5 degrees, just like the tropics of the Earth. The Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 degrees south. 47, very special. In the language of gematria, the word pole star, which is what the Freemasons say at the top of their compass, is represented. The pole star is the North Star. The Freemasons have something called the 47th problem of Euclid, about how to establish foundation using the North Star or the pole star. Goes back to the Greek mathematician Euclid of Alexandria. Anyhow, in the language of gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, the word pole star is 47, just like foundation. Freemasons have Euclid's 47th problem about how to establish foundation using the North Star or the pole star. Their compass is set at 47 degrees. The word time equals 47. The tropics are 47 degrees apart that measure the solstices, that measure time. So anyhow, from the date of the strike, April 6th, 2017, 4/6, 2017, the date of the strike in the U.S. when it happened, that was a date with 47 numerology. 47 numerology, the date of the strike. From that date to May 23rd upcoming is 47 days. And think about that date, 23/5, kind of like 23.5 degrees. Each leg kicked out at 23.5 degrees, making 47 degrees. The date of the strike, 47 numerology, 47 days later is May 23rd. And when the strike happened in Syrian time, it was already April 7th, which is 4/7 as we write it in the U.S. Another way to get to 47. So look at this. These words all equal 47. Pole star 47, foundation 47, White House 47, authority 47, president 47, Trump 47. Today, April 7th, they've named the latest member of the Supreme Court, the latest judge, the 9th judge, replacing Antonin Scalia, Judge 47. Just like gavel, just like obey, you know? All 47. Today, April 7th, the judge named to the Supreme Court. April 7th is the 97th day of the year. 97. Anyhow, 47 days from Trump's big decision to May 23rd. May 23rd, I am convinced already there's going to be a big headline. You know, I don't know if it's going to be the end of Trump's administration, some huge escalation in war, but something is coming May 23rd. There's a reason they've been putting this date so much in front of us for approaching now 2 years and connecting it to Trump, who's now the president. If you want to go back and watch my older videos on May 23rd and how I started picking up on this, go read my older blog posts. You can see. And Just remember, recently, some other things we talked about. The big snafu at the Oscars, and it was Bonnie and Clyde presenting the award, or the actor and actress who played Bonnie and Clyde, real life people who were murdered on May 23rd. We just saw the big death of David Rockefeller, the ancestor of John D. Rockefeller, who died May 23rd, plus a few other things. I'll remind you real quick before we conclude this video. But May 23rd, 2017, it'll be a date with 45 numerology. Trump, the 45th president. It'll be a date with 38 numerology. DC on the 38th parallel. A number connected to death all throughout history. Also, recently, Sean Spicer made big headlines when he came out to speak at the podium and the flag on his suit was upside down. That mistake was no accident. These people get makeup and they get all dressed up and make sure their hair's perfect. You don't think somebody caught that the flag was upside down? I guess anything's possible, and that's what the powers that shouldn't be count on from the gullible masses. But look, the date that happened, March 10th, that was 74 days from May 23rd. And with regards to the flag being upside down, think about how Donald Trump's the president. There's this hit TV show, House of Cards, where their symbol is the flag upside down. Donald Trump, Trump card, House of Cards. They did their preview for their upcoming season on Inauguration Day. Exactly 130 days before season 1 will debut, or the season episode will debut, or maybe it's on Netflix so they put it all out at once, but whenever that show comes out, it's 130 days from Inauguration Day. Washington equals 130, so does Kevin Spacey, who plays the president. Anyway, 74 days from this headline, this story, until May 23rd. The reflection of 47, Masonic equals 74. Special number to this nation with the July 4th Independence Day. Holiday equals 74 Independence Day. But here it was, March 10th, all the rage. The White House spokesman with his lapel pin upside down. Something that George W. Bush made popular after 9/11. Also, from the date of the election, or selection more like it, November 8th to May 23rd is 197 days, which is the 45th prime number. If you didn't know, Donald Trump's wife's birthday was 197 days before Election Day. That was the same day he gave the speech after winning big in the primaries that he would become the next president and he would build the wall and he would defeat ISIS. That was 197 days before the election. 197 days after, again, the 45th prime, he's the 45th president. May 23rd has 45 numerology. In the Satanic Gematria cipher, Donald Trump even sums to 523, kind of like how we write May 23rd. This is going to be a day with big news. 123 days from Inauguration Day, Conspiracy 123. Some good notes from Dimitri. Here's Bonnie and Clyde, dead May 23rd, 1934. That's the 83-year anniversary. 83 is a number they like to put next to Donald Trump as well. The Donald equals 83. 83 is the 23rd prime. We're talking about the 23rd day of May. The name Donald also has that gematria of 23. If you've ever wondered why elections are in leap year 83, can you guess election? Gematria is about geometry within language, making like terms through words that have associations, like all elections for president being in a leap year. The Donald. As I was pointing out, Donald Trump was heavily tied with the Patriots. I was showing why the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl while it was all about 25 before the game was even played, before the Patriots had their record 25-point comeback. It's a big show we're living out. But again, Faye Dunaway, Warren Beatty, they made the mishap by the numbers. Got a long video on it if you want to check it out. The man who was killed, Clyde Champion Barrow, 97, the 25th prime number. The name Trump equals 25. The Patriots just won the 97th season of the NFL. Super Bowl 51. Anyhow, also, there was this headline from the Huffington Post: witches plan to cast mass spell against Donald Trump. Witches equals 33. What I forgot to write up there in that post was cast mass spell also sums to 33. Magic has the gematria of 33. Like masonry, like secrecy, like Gnostic. Some people say that's what the big G really represents in the middle of the Freemason compass, possessing the knowledge of the Gnostics, which has a lot to do with magic. Anyhow, May 23rd was one of the dates named in this article. May 23rd. This article was put out February 23rd, 2/23. We know about Masonic 223, the Synagogue of Satan 223. Telling us May 23rd will be the third date of the spell cast. And what do they say? They say the third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. May 23rd, bizarre article from the Huffington Post about witches casting mass spells. If you follow my work, we talk about 223 all the time. February 23rd. Just real quick, come back to the Freemason compass. The compass is 47 degrees of measurement. The square is 90 degrees, 90-degree angle. That's 137 degrees of measurement. If you subtract 137 degrees from the degrees of a circle, remember 360 degrees in a circle, 360 minus 137, 223, like Masonic.
So moving on, next slide. Kyle, he caught this. From the May 12th, 2015 train wreck in Philadelphia to May 23rd, 2017 is 106 weeks. And the reason that's interesting is because the word prophecy equals 106, so does the word destroy. Revelation is where the city name Philadelphia comes from. Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction. If you missed my work on the May 12th, 2015 train wreck, it was a completely contrived news story. There was no real train wreck. It was a Hollywood movie scene. It was a ritual, and it had everything to do with the Jesuit Pope visiting the White House on September 23rd, which happened later that year. Remember, September 23rd can be written 23/9, kind of like 239. 239 is the 52nd prime number. And the word Pope equals 52, so does White House, so does government, so does president. On September 23rd, the Pope met with the president. The Pope even took the White House lawn at that day, or on that date at 9:23 in the morning, kind of like September 23rd. Remember, first Jesuit Pope, Donald Trump's a Jesuit. The Vatican, you know, once upon a time where Washington, D.C. used to be the Catholic colony. September 23rd, the 266th day of the year, Pope Francis, the Jesuit Pope, the 266th Pope. We were talking about 52. Donald Trump began his Jesuit training in 1964 at Fordham University, 52 years before being elected president. So anyhow, the whole Pope's visit had a lot to do with Donald Trump and his campaign. You might recall that after the Pope visited, John Boehner, the leader of Congress, said he no longer wanted to be the Speaker of Congress. He resigned from his position. Matt Ryan, the Jesuit, took over. John Boehner was also a Jesuit. Also, Jeb Bush met with the Pope. Jeb Bush dropped out of the race. Donald Trump became even more of a front runner to win for the Republican Party. All of these things are interconnected. Go back and check out my work on the Philadelphia train wreck. There's a whole lot that's interesting there. Fascinating that it's 106 weeks later, May 23rd, 2017, the date. Also did a lot of work on the death of the Rockefellers ever since the passing of David Rockefeller at 101. John D. Rockefeller, the ancestor, died on May 23rd in history. May 23rd. 523 is the 99th prime. Richard Rockefeller equals 99. Remember, Richard Rockefeller died the day after David Rockefeller turned 99. Got a video on that. But 523, 99, special numbers. Special numbers to the history of this nation, Standard Oil, the Rockefeller family, Go back and check out my videos that I've put out. But here it is, the death of John D. Rockefeller on May 23rd, and making it even more fascinating, he died 47 days from his birthday. We were just talking about 47 days from the Syria strike to May 23rd. The name John equals 47, again 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. Each leg kicked out at 23.5 degrees, kind of like 23/5 for May 23rd. John D. Rockefeller died at age 97. The word death 97. 97th, the 25th prime, Trump 25. In 1997, we saw Rockefeller Records blow up with Jay-Z. If you missed my work on Jay-Z, the Freemason, him benefiting from the death of Notorious B.I.G., check out that work. Now one of my most viewed videos. Notorious B.I.G.'s death for the benefit of Jay-Z. And down below, I'll also link these blog posts on the death of David Rockefeller. I think all of these things are intertwined. All these rituals. The Rockefellers, big industrialists. Donald Trump, big real estate man, big money. Part of the parallel. So we'll wrap it up here for now, Truth Seeker. I would definitely mark down May 23rd. I have no doubt that is going to be a big date of headlines. Date with 45 numerology, Trump the 45th president. We talked about how Donald Trump in satanic gematria is 523. Until next time, Truth Seeker.